What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just want to go ahead and say I really appreciate everyone that subscribed and has watched the videos. Really appreciate that. But today's video, we're gonna get quite a little bit done on this thing. Y'all stay tuned. It's finally time. Even Meech is excited. Meech, tell him. About to put the wheels back on this thing. Get it put back on the ground just until I wait on the 5-bolt flange and the piping to come in. Let's get that done. We're out here moving the cars around and I just can't help myself but to listen to this Buddy Club Spec 2. So far, we have no temperature. Do have to get some gas in this puppy. It's actually kind of crazy how quiet this is. And it doesn't even have an exhaust yet. Finally got everything up to running temp. No leaks. Everything's looking pretty good. Out here with this thing again. Luckily, the 5-bolt flange just got here with the gasket. So, about to install that onto there. Getting very, very close. Of course, we still need to get injectors. Do need to get the fuel pump. Get a couple more gauges. But all that will come in time. Should at least be able to just drive around, have fun with it, hear some noises for a little while before we have to go get it tuned. Went ahead, threw my flange on for the wastegate. I'm going to be cutting some pipe very soon to start marking that up. Got the pipe already, I need to cut it, start marking that up. But can't really do much of that until that piping gets here. Hopefully that gets here soon. Definitely going to be changing this valve cover out, probably in this episode. I'm tired of looking at it, to be honest. It just kills everything else. Everything else looks pretty decent. That just ruins it. One thing I don't even want to look at, I'm sure y'all don't, but didn't know the rust was going to be this bad. The exhaust manifold doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look good, but the housing, that kind of sucks because it's actually really rusty looking. I think I'm going to switch this top piece to a banjo. And then right there, that hole, I need to put another banjo. Overall, this thing is looking pretty good. Definitely going to have to figure out something with this rust. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get the banjo bolts put on this thing. I'm going to switch this one out. And I've got to put my one down here. Get that squared away. Did get the PCB valve undone last night and the hose that goes to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and start getting the hoses routed from the catch can over to here. I got to clean the PCB valve out a little bit or get a new one. Other than that, let's get to it. Do plan, I'll probably end up using this one that I just took out to actually drill and tap into my turbo so that I can run the line to the turbo from the wastegate. So that ends up working out for that. It does suck because I found my old hood spacers last night and was trying them out on the hood. And of course they did not help. But yeah, like I was saying, got some password JDM risers, some old ones I've had for a while. Got those knocked out. They're nice and tight. The hole was set right. Now, need to get that catch can knocked out. And the piece they sent me for this is not right. They sent me the one, I'm pretty sure that's for the D16. Might as well get some of this stuff done while we wait on piping. But, like I was saying, this has the hole actually right with the bolts. And then on the other style, it's like above or below it. Similar to like how this is. You can see that the hole is not in line with where the bolts would be. So what I'm going to have to do is take this. First I'm going to take that one off. Take this, set it there, kind of make sure I got enough room to drill holes right here into this side part. Then I'm going to take that, flip it around, stick it against this, trace my holes right here, drill those out. This should be good enough to put on there. Did put a better ground over here on this side, a nice thick one. It's actual full braided cable. But sitting here trying to figure out what I want to do, because I could run the lines for the catch can. I don't know if I have enough to make two the length that they need to be. Plus, the PCV valve needs to be cleaned or get a new one, like I said. Or I could start switching out the valve cover, but I have to look through my stash and make sure I can find grommets for the spark plugs. Just trying to think of things I could do, get a little bit further. I could go ahead and run some vacuum lines maybe, but I kind of rather have everything where it's going to be than do that, so I can make it all look neat and not have to move things 20 times. I don't know, I think we might start trying to get the boost gauge situated. Main thing is I need to find where I want to mount it at. Alright, time has come to finally mount this thing. Comes with a hose that we're going to have to run through the firewall. Comes with this little T so that we could put it into our vacuum. Now it's just figuring out. I kind of like how it looks right there, but at the same time, it's not made to go there. It's also, they make little pods that are meant for that vent, so I really just don't want to put it right there because it looks kind of odd to me. But with this little pod I bought, not really a lot of spots that are flat in here to mount this. Thought about maybe right here in the center. I don't know though. I did go ahead and mount the gauge upside down because I was thinking it was probably going to be down low. Got to keep it that sleeper look also. Or we just stick it right here on the dash where everybody can see that we're boosted. I don't know. Keep testing some spots. Hopefully get this thing mounted. This is going to be the funnest part. Just does not work. I mean, I guess if someone wanted to screw it right there, then they could, but I'm not about to screw into my dang cluster bezel right there. It's a no-go. Don't pay attention to my super old radio. But, yeah. Do need to get this thing working again. I need to check out all of my wiring and make sure that everything is still good with it. And for this steering wheel, I did have my NRG quick release on this to begin with. Then I switched to driving the mint hatch, so switched it to that. Was going to put it back onto this, but seeing how the cage on the EXO is starting to get really tight, I think that the NRG quick release needs to go onto it. For running this hose, I think got that little hole right there. Then I've seen people take it through that one hole. That's a rubber grommet. That's right there. That's red. I don't think I'm going to mess with that one though, because I do not want the line just looking like a weirdo going through there. I might end up probably just using that one. Probably look the best. Alright, I did find a spot to put the boost gauge. No one will ever see it. Got that sleeper look now. Alright, it took me a minute to get this hooked up and everything because my buddy came by. Anyways, got this thing hooked up. I'd say it looks pretty nice. Pretty much found my power that I had ran for my little lights I put under here a long time ago. Just spliced into that for now, so now I can cut it on and off with the toggle when I'm driving. Overall though, I think the gauge looks pretty good. Alright, got my wires all cleaned up. Alright, for my boost line, it's going through that hole. I'll come up over here. Not sure yet where I'm going to tee it into. Somewhere on the intake. But that's ready and that's done. Just got to get all of this vacuum stuff sealed up. Got the fuel pressure regulator out here, just looking at it. Looking at some ideas of where I want to mock it up. Trying to see how much hose I actually have as far as vacuum hose, because I don't think that my wastegate actually came with any. So, gonna have to figure that out. Something else that's good, looking through my stash of old D15 stuff, did find the grommets that we need. Finally gonna start getting some of this worked on and drilled out, mocked up. Buddy's here with his saw. Nice broken off bolt into there. What do you think on it?
It's gonna be fun.
Definitely gonna be a fun job, but we should be able to get it figured out. Well,
We just got real lucky.
that was a quick fix. That's always great when it happens like that. Alright, we got the old style fuel pressure regulator off. Gonna match it up to this, try to butt it up, trace my new holes where they're gonna be at. Finally got this thing drilled out. I think we're actually gonna tap this thing. Probably, what do you think?
Yeah, it's got two little spots.
Yeah, you could have in that groove, which would be there, and then down here. Alright, we got our little fitting. This is the one that I took off the top of the wastegate. Feel like it would be perfect. Tap in, put into that. Definitely stoked with how this came out. Me and Hunter got this thing dialed in. He's gonna hook me up hopefully with a gasket maybe that'll seal this up, because I don't have one here right now. The one I have that came off the stock one does not seal at all. So hopefully we get that knocked out. But now we're in the middle of getting the tap ready and getting all this situated, deburred, all that. Got this thing screwed into there. Now we're gonna run the wastegate straight to the actual turbo housing. Definitely give us way better reading on the wastegate to open up. Now blow this thing out like crazy with some air, get it put back onto the car. Now I can run my wastegate bottom hose to the actual housing instead of going to the intake. Got this drilled out, got me an O-ring. Gonna install this onto the fuel rail now. Alright, we finally got turbo tap. Got our piece on now to go ahead and run our fuel pressure regulator over to the side right here. So I'm glad we got that knocked out. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to go ahead and get the bracket mounted onto the bay somewhere and start running all those lines, get that hooked back up, make sure there ain't no leaks. Did go ahead and clean out the PCV valve. Going to be hooking it up and running it over to the catch can also tomorrow. Getting there slowly, guys, getting there slowly. Probably going to run the line too tomorrow. I might do that tonight. I don't know yet, because when I make the dump tube, I don't really want my line really close to it where it'll get burnt or something. So, kind of want to wait. I don't know. Probably going to have to hook it up to do the first drive anyways, and got an idea what I'm going to do for the time being. on the dump tube and exhaust. Y'all just wait. Y'all have to stay tuned and see what I do with that. Much as I would like to start on mounting the fuel pressure regulator, getting the hoses ran for the catch can, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this ugly looking valve cover off. I'm really just honestly tired of looking at it. Really hoping I don't have to take my wastegate back off. As you can see, the clearance on that thing. Hoping I can just slide the valve cover around it. But at least have a better looking valve cover, brand new grommets, brand new valve cover gasket. Something we ain't got to worry about leaking. Which it don't leak now, so I really don't want to take it apart, but tired of looking at that valve cover. Alright, we got the mint hatch over here. Cleaned it up early on the outside, but you want to talk about an oldie motor and a nasty looking bay. This will have to be in a different episode talking about all of that, but this is what we're after. It looks a little rough. The yellow is because it used to be hydro dipped in carbon fiber and it was yellow. Pretty cool looking. Did have a whole bunch of drawings on this thing a long time ago that I drew. I think I'm gonna get back at doing that and kind of see some of them. They're really faded. But we're gonna clean this thing up, stick it on there, because I think this one will look a lot better. Shaved the timing cover part a long time ago. Shaved all of the other letters off so it just says Honda. Alright, now we got the valve cover off this. Done cleaned up where all the grommets sit, where the gasket's going to go on. Now to take this valve cover off, put this one on that car. Before I put this valve cover on, just wanted to show, this doesn't look too bad, but you can tell it's got a decent bit of miles. This head still actually looks pretty dang clean. Alright, and now we got the mint hatch put back together. All the bolts tight, everything looks good. Gonna get this thing back out of the way, start getting the cleaning on the other valve cover I just took off. Then, gonna get on that fuel pressure regulator. Maybe go ahead and do the hoses tonight for the old catch can. Just gonna wipe this valve cover out a good little bit. Try to get all this old burnt oil out of that other motor, kind of off of this, all that sludge. Done cleaned out where the gasket sits and where my grommets will sit. Wipe out those some more. Alright, I got my old grommets out. Got my new ones. That valve cover looks a million times better on this thing. One thing that does kind of suck is I do have an adjustable cam gear, but it's for a D16, not a D15. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of difference of the teeth count on there, so I can't run that on this, but I might order one for this one. Not really needed that much, but it would definitely make the bay look a little bit better. I plan to definitely do something about this rusty mess. I can't have that, not with all this looking like that. And got the hood risers off. Don't need those no more. Switched this valve cover last night. I swear, guys, that looks a million times better. Of course, it's not done yet. Still got a little ways to go, but looks a lot better than having that black one on there. But now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this fuel pressure regulator mounted up, start bending the bracket and putting it where I want. Alright, with this, I'm thinking I'll kind of want to mount it right in here. I was thinking about putting it underneath this bolt for the shock, but it's kind of a little bit too far over. So I'm thinking there's a bolt hole right there. If I take that, bend this bracket, that should put it a little bit closer over. I think it'll look pretty good right there. Alright guys, we got the fuel pressure regulator mounted. I think it looks pretty good right there. But got the return line going down that way. Here's our feed line looped around right here. Got our vacuum to it, so that's pretty much done. About to start working on getting the catch can plumbed up, put my PCV valve back in and all that. But luckily I've got more hose if I ever want to redo the bottom one, because I use the OEM one for now. And then what I had left of the vacuum line will actually be perfect length from the wastegate down to where I tapped into the turbo. So that works out, because they didn't send me nothing as far as vacuum lines for the wastegate part. So not only do I have to figure out where I'm gonna put my blow off into the intake at, I'm gonna have to figure out where I want to run my boost gauge. Don't really want to tap into the fuel pressure regulator vacuum. There is the vacuum right here on the back that I could tee into, but that's only going to be good to run one, either the blow off or the boost gauge. So I'm not really sure yet on where I want to put which one. Boost gauge is probably definitely going to be tapped into this one. So figuring out where the blow off is going to be going, that's another issue we're going to have to figure out. Alright, we got a line cut. One thing, these little clamps it comes with, where it's just a Phillips head, not the best. We'll be changing those back out, but I think that this will work perfect for now. Alright, well that's one side of the old catch can plumbed up. Don't look the best. I don't really like how the hose is like wavy, but I think after a little while getting warmed up it should straighten out. All of that is ran where it's not in the way. I do need to get the black line and run it from there down to my PCV valve, which will be installed very soon. I want to get that done. I've seen a lot of people talk about that, where they don't like these clear hoses because they start getting really dirty. But I thought it'd be cool maybe to run it on the top just to see really what is all getting sucked out of the motor. I might go ahead and try to get my vacuum line from the wastegate onto the turbo done. Kind of wanted to wait because not sure yet where that's going to be routed because piping and everything, but I think it'll be fine. If anything, I'll just take it back off. But I'm going to go ahead and get that plumbed up. Alright, I got the bottom done. I was about to cut this because I don't need that much, and it kind of clears, if you can see, but I think I'm going to leave the slack because if anything, if I need to, I could run a small zip tie right here and it'll hold it up out of the way of everything that's going to get hot. I think that would be a better idea for now until I get everything else on here. Alright, now we got that plumbed up. Probably will end up putting clamps on it later on. I think it'll be fine for now because they were pretty fun getting them on there. Back out here with this thing. Been having some real good weather lately. Snowed the other night. Pretty dang cold out here today. But learned two new things. One, from watching Hunter Tune, shout out to him, learned that I do need to block off of this right here on the intake, or a boost will come out of that. I thought about it a little bit and just ended up running it to the back of the intake right there instead of teeing into that just yet. I think I'm going to wait until I actually have the blow-off valve so that I can actually just run that line and make all the tees and everything look good. Because I feel like if I tee into that little bitty line right now, I'm going to have to get into a whole bunch of taking that back apart, and I just don't want to do that. I'd rather just wait. I think it'd be a lot easier, but about to crank this thing, make sure we have no leaks as far as all of the fuel system part I just fixed. I ended up finding a random hose that I had laying around. I'll end up changing it later, but that will work now. Got that fully plumbed up. That's good to go. Do need to still get a little nipple block off for that. Back out here with this thing. Glad we got it to start up last night. The thing sounded pretty dang good. I can't wait to get the rest of this piping. They go by my buddies, and he gave me this 2.5 inch exhaust pipe. That would be plenty for me to go ahead and start chopping on it. Come up with an exhaust for this, but I still have to wait on the piping, so. But at least we got the exhaust piping. That's covered, so I have enough to go out to the bumper. Super stoked with how this thing is coming out. Just remember, if y'all want to learn how I did all of this, I have other videos where I actually started installing a lot of this, drilling the pan and all that. It's getting very, very close though. Sitting out here just trying to look over everything and just make sure I'm not forgetting anything and thinking of just ideas. Like I said, I can't do much without having a pipe in here, so I can't create the exhaust. I want to cut that pipe so bad right now, but kind of pointless to start chopping it all up whenever I don't even know which way I'm going to fab it yet. Well guys, I was hoping in this video we was going to go ahead and take it down the road, but the delaying on the piping, it's getting there, slowly but surely. Next, I do need to get that piping, make the exhaust, and I still need to run the vacuum for the blow off. Other than that, it'll be ready to go down the road. Again, I appreciate all y'all watching. If you like videos like this, make sure you leave a thumbs up. The next video, we definitely will be driving this thing. I can't wait. Y'all stay tuned. Have a blessed day. I'll see y'all in the next one.